All right, tubers, Madame Roy back once again, actually starting this live stream a few minutes early. I am not exactly sure how the quality is going to be. I am at my uncle's place here in Greene, New York. I'm on his Wi-Fi, so I apologize if it's not the greatest quality. We got here really early. I'm telling you, I was really surprised. We only hit traffic in a couple of places. One was like right through Washington, the Capitol Beltway. The other being on 81 when we went into Pennsylvania. So, all in all, not a bad trip at all. It's kind of weird the way I have this set up. I have the laptop here, and then I'm looking at you guys on the TV. And I have this lamp as close as I possibly can without burning my retinas out. So hopefully you guys can see me okay. Can everybody see and hear me just fine? Am I coming through loud and clear? I don't know if the messages are working or not. It is quite a bit colder here. It's in the mid 60s right now, and I think it's supposed to dip down into the low 60s, high 50s. So, yeah, I mean, it is really different from being in Virginia. Loud and clear. Nice. You guys may be asking, what's this about? Well, interesting story. When I got up here, the first thing I did was I started making chicken salad because you guys know with my lifestyle change, that's what I like to eat for lunch. So I was cutting up chicken salad, just kind of talking at the same time, and I'm not great at multitasking. And as I was cutting the chicken, I sliced my thumb pretty deep. So my uncle, who was really good at first aid, thank you, Uncle Chris, he put a little Band-Aid across because I actually cut my finger down like this, and there was actually a flap. It was kind of gross, honestly. So I cleaned it off, put a little Band-Aid going down, then one going around, and then he put this, he actually took a glove, cut the thumb off, and put that on so I could continue to work. So thanks. I appreciate that, Uncle Chris. Without that, I would have been stuck. Going to check it tomorrow. Hopefully, I don't have to get it stitched up, but I don't think so. It should be fine. Reviews for noobs. I've heard of having a green thumb, but not a blue one. Well, I guess it makes sense for me because I don't have a green thumb. If you guys know what having a green thumb means, that means you're good at gardening, good at working out in the yard, and I am definitely not good at either of those things. Oh, so the trip went really well. We took the Tahoe, my 96 Tahoe, which made it just fine. Of course, I was a little apprehensive. You know, it's a 25-year-old vehicle, and, you know, anything can happen, but she did really well. No issues, nothing like that. So yay for Chevy quality. So we got 3 watchers and 9 likes. I bet we have more watchers than that. I just have a hunch that the counter is not really working very well right now. I should take my glasses off because I know there's a glare, but I wouldn't be able to read the comments if I did. Let me try doing this because it's really hard to read. It looks like I'm looking elsewhere. I'm going to go ahead and move the video back to my laptop screen here. Reviews for noobs. I'm still waiting for the Busch Gardens video. Yeah, I feel bad about that, guys. And I really think I'm going to have to wait till next year with my inner ear condition. I cannot be going on any rides right now. You guys know I have chronic ear infections and eustachian tube dysfunction. I'm hoping to get that fixed over the winter so I'll actually be able to go on those roller coasters. But if I was to go on them right now, I could pass out. I could get really dizzy. It's just not safe for me to do it, unfortunately. I-386, another hurricane headed towards southeast coast. Looks like above Jacksonville, Florida. Last I saw, going to head across Georgia. Yeah, it's actually hitting Puerto Rico right now. I feel bad for them because they haven't really recovered from that Hurricane Maria that hit. Last I heard, it was going to hit towards either Georgia or the Carolinas, so we'll have to watch it. Hopefully, Dad will be okay down in Virginia. I watched your live stream, Eric. I thought it was cool. You got to get a good mount, though. I mean, I know it works putting it in between the steering wheel, but they're really cheap. If you get a chance, go on eBay. Heck, the one I'm using for my Tahoe, I found at a thrift store for like $4 or $5. Nick Roberts, any Goodwill scores? Nothing major. The only thing I got recently at the Goodwill was just some memory for this computer, 4 gig stick of DDR3 and SO DIMM. No, nothing really, unfortunately. No, Mark, I don't need a lifeline. I'll always remember you. I just haven't had a chance to really do much of anything, preparing for a trip, getting everything ready. If you guys don't hear from me for a while, please don't assume the worst. Chances are it's just because I don't have any extra time, but I'll try to keep you guys updated as much as possible. I3 says it'll be Monday or Tuesday before the storm hits. Last year we had to go to a motel. It's always better to err on the side of caution, though. With a tropical storm, usually don't have to worry too much. Generally, they're not strong enough to really cause major damage. The worst thing with them is usually coastal flooding. Eric goes, I don't have that option at the moment. Ha ha. Yeah, you do the best you can, but if you ever get a chance, definitely get yourself a good phone mount for your car. Usually the windshield mount, or if it's illegal in your state, I don't know if it is, you can get the same windshield mounts, but you can also get one of those dash pads you can mount it to. Really easy. I mean, you might have to spend $20 for both of those, but it's definitely worth it in the long run. I'm missing here. Oh, I remember. I did. Now that you mention, I did remember you talking about that. Eric goes, the windshield suction cup was good, but it melted. The mount was good, but the suction cup melted. You got to be really careful. You get those real cheap Chinese ones, and they'll do that. They will melt to the windshield if you leave them on too long. Wow. You can kind of feel the room shaking. I wonder if we're having a little bit of a tremor here right now. Might be the fan. It's actually a little warm in here right now. We had a rainstorm when we first came up, and it just made the humidity rise. So that's why I have that fan on right now. Funny story. When we came up, I wanted to do the chicken salad. So I bought everything at Aldi to do the chicken salad. The chicken, the red onion, and the multicolored peppers, and of course the chicken broth, because I actually boil my chicken in chicken broth to give it a little extra flavor. And the one thing I forgot was to bring my food processor. I'm like, oh no, what am I going to do? So I went up in my uncle's pantry, and he had one of the little ones, which would be fine, except it didn't work. There was a little matchstick last time we were here that we used to kind of push the safety latch in to make it work, but this time it just wouldn't work properly. So I had no choice. I took my bike out, because we did bring the bikes up, and I went over to Dollar General, and I bought one for $10. Another real small one. I think it's Black & Decker or something like that. And sure enough, I was able to buy it, bring it home, and only then was I able to actually chop everything up, because I actually use a food processor to not only process the chicken, but also the peppers and the onions. Because I like everything to be consistent when I make chicken salad, and that does the best job. Eric goes, I've lasted through 2 cars and a little over 3 years. I'm not that crazy, but I have changed out cars quite frequently. I think we figured this out. I think I've owned like 15 cars. I'm only 36, so It's not too bad. That's a lot of cars. I know, Eric, you got me beat. You've had more cars probably than even my dad has owned. And I'm not talking about just cars. I'm talking about trucks, vans, SUVs, what have you. Eric goes, right now I'm researching the cheapest AM4 processor I can get to test that motherboard. Probably eBay is going to be your best bet for that. Let me see what they have on eBay. No, come on. Nick Roberts goes, I love anything with chicken in it. So do I, Nick. I am a big chicken fanatic. Nick goes, I bet I'm the youngest here, 22. You might be. Oh. Hang on. Okay, I got to close that. I was trying to multitask, but I forgot I'm not on my Dell XPS 8700 with a Core i7. I'm running my HP ProBook with a Core i5 3rd gen instead of a 4th gen i7. So multitasking is kind of out of the question. If I get a chance, Mark, I'll PM that to you. But you can just always go on my YouTube channel. It's not hard. Just go to my YouTube channel and search through my video list. You should be able to find it. Andrea Mallory wants to know why my thumb is blue. It's no big deal. I cut it with a knife, cutting up chicken when I made the chicken salad. I look like Bob Lazar. Is that the one from Bob's Burgers? Is that their last name? I've only actually ever seen that show once or twice. Got 10 watchers, 11 likes. Awesome. I'm glad everybody made it here. I'm actually glad that I'm coming through nice and clear because the reception here isn't that great. No, it's the alien dude. I have no idea who Bob Lazar is. I'm sorry. I'll have to take your word for it. Oh, man. Let me get another sip of water here. Trying to stay nice and hydrated. Whew. So, let you guys know, there's going to be some interesting videos coming, probably more in the form of live streams than anything else. We're going to be up for the Labor Day festivities in Greene. They have them down at the ball flats. And I'm going to try to film down there. They have like kiddie rides. They have vendor stands, food. And, of course, they have fireworks. And do you know that this is the 100th anniversary of the Labor Day celebration here in Greene? So they went all out this year for the fireworks. This should be really interesting. I actually can't wait to see what they come up with. And I'll definitely be live streaming those fireworks. How was the weather, Brad Smith, in the morning? Last week at home, because here, Southwest Michigan, we had mid-50s in the mornings. Weird for August. I don't know how it's been here. This is our first day up. Now, where we are, it's been in the 80s and low to low 90s. I mean, at night, we're lucky to get into the low 80s, but that's in Virginia. Here, I'm just guessing. Let me use the phone, because if I try to multitask on this, it's just going to freeze up. 50s. So for the next week, it's going to be like 55, 50, 52 in the mornings, only getting up to a high of about 72. And that's here in Greene. Probably low humidity too, because we're not near any big bodies of water. So the humidity, unless it's raining, tends to be pretty low in this area. About a week, Mark. I think we'll be back next Wednesday, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't have to be back. I actually have This is the funny part. You guys know that I'm a reseller, mainly computer systems. So actually what I did before I left, and I do this every time, I set up 4 or 5, and I think in this time I did 5 computers all ready to go, put the prices on them, and I communicate with anybody who might want to buy them. And my dad is the middleman. He's the one that'll actually sell them. So really not in any rush to get back. We can stay up here pretty much almost as long as we want, though. Probably not going to be more than a week. I36 goes, I got a drug test for my new job this week. I will leave Kroger after 25 years. Wow. It's something I prayed about. Will be off on Sundays. That's nice. I've worked retail. When I worked regular 9-to-5 jobs, it was usually retail, so Sundays were a must for me. Just make sure. I don't know if I should say this because I know somebody's going to take this out of context, but all right, I'll do it anyway. Don't eat poppy seeds right before a drug test. Somebody actually told me that one time, and the reason is poppy is what they made opium out of, and it can show up in a drug test. So if you want to make sure your drug test is totally clear, make sure you don't eat anything with poppy seeds. Awesome computers. High school has a ton of homework, especially since AP stuff is included. I never had that problem. I never took AP classes. Not that I was an ignoramus in school. I wasn't. I just had other passions. But yeah, I could see that AP classes are really tough. I mean, they're like college level classes that you take in high school. Eric goes, I got to experience a Wegmans for the first time today. Isn't it awesome? If you go to Wegmans, you have to try their pizza. They have real New York style pizza. If you guys saw the live stream I did from Wegmans in Virginia Beach, unbelievable, their pizza. I absolutely love it. Oh, Nick Roberts goes, Nana had some poppies growing in their garden. Somebody stole them all. Well, I think we know why. Don't stress it with the AP classes. I mean, you're in high school. As long as you don't have to work, then, concentrate. Do the best you can, because I'll be honest with you, I kind of slacked off a little in high school. I had other things on my mind in high school. And I do sort of regret it because I probably could have gotten into a 4-year university if I really applied myself. You know what? Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Hopefully you guys can kind of learn from my mistakes. Eric goes, I almost tried the pizza, but I got a ready-made sandwich instead. Next time you're there, if you have a chance, try it. You won't be disappointed. It is like real New York style pizza. I'm talking about like pizza you would get from the city. My favorite sliced pizza there is a white pie. It's a ricotta, and I think it's a ricotta and Parmesan base, mozzarella, provolone on top, and then on top of that for a topping is actual cloves of garlic cooked. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Ever checked out Whole Foods? I'm not a huge fan of Whole Foods, to be honest with you. I like Aldi and Trader Joe's are a lot less expensive, and you can get the same quality of food as you can for the most part at Whole Foods, at Trader Joe's and Aldi. And I'm not a rich man, so every penny counts. I-36, after they said I had to get my knees, I am 45 and scrape gum off sidewalks. That was it, and other things they are doing also. Just not able to do a lot of things. You gotta take it easy when you get knee replacements. Both my parents had knee replacements, and you can almost do everything you used to do, except kneeling is hard because you got to remember you're kneeling on metal, and it can hurt. But everything else you can pretty much do. What I recommend is getting yourself a good pair of knee pads. Now that's odd for a Eric Brunhammer saying didn't have any pizza ready for a Wegmans not to have any pizza ready. I'm thinking that they must have had a lunch rush, probably around lunchtime. I wouldn't be surprised. And I like Eric. I like this. Eric goes, as someone who worked for one of their food manufacturers, Whole Foods is a ripoff and a joke. I don't know about a joke because they do have good quality food, but I have to admit they are high. I mean, you are definitely paying a premium for the name. Marco asks, is there a Wegmans either in Newport News or in Hampton? No, the only Wegmans in the Hampton Roads area is in Virginia Beach on the corner of Virginia Beach Boulevard and what is it? Indian River? Is it Indian River? Independence. Corner of Virginia Beach Boulevard and Independence Boulevard. Andrea Mallory asked, how are Milo and Baxter? I assume they're doing well. They were doing well when I left them this morning. I have to call Dad tomorrow. William McCullough, glad you had traveling mercies on your way to Greene, New York. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Hope you're doing well, too. Try to stay cool. I know this is like the transition time in Virginia, in the southeast part of Virginia. The end of August, beginning of September, you'll have those days where it's still really hot and humid up in the late high 80s, low 90s. Then you'll have the days where it's kind of really cool. And then towards the end of September, you get mostly cool days with really low humidity. And that's what I'm waiting for. Yep, Eric. I'm pretty sure you've been to that area before. It's where the Wegmans is now is where the old Hannaford's used to be. They tore it down and they put the Wegmans there. Awesome repeaters. How good is a 2005 era Intel Centrino Dell Latitude for $15? Yeah, I would probably hold off. A Centrino Duo. Good for basic internet use. You're not going to be doing much with that. Maybe watching some YouTube videos. Yeah, if you're just doing basic things, I'd pick it up for $15. You're better off though getting something a year or two newer, something like a Core 2 Quad, or maybe something like a what was the other one that came out there? The Core 2 Extreme. I think they had those in the laptops as well. But yeah, I mean, for basic use, it's fine. I-386 wants to rant about Kroger. Oh, don't do that. I actually like Kroger for certain things. Excuse me. There go my allergies, as usual. George Stewart goes, hey, Matt, I have some dinner at Bob Evans. Do you know I've never eaten at a Bob Evans? And I know there are not a lot of them around. I've always wanted to. Eric goes, for us, it is heat in the morning to defrost the windshield and AC in the afternoon. Sounds about right. I was a little nervous this morning. My Tahoe was stuck on defrost for a couple of minutes. I actually never used the defrost, but I was using it this morning to clear the windshield. And I guess the little damper that changes it from defrost to the front, blowing out the front, got stuck. I'm going to have to ask you, Eric, if you know any ways to prevent that from happening again. It's working fine now, but I'm afraid if it gets stuck again, I might be SOL. And I really don't want to have to take that dash apart again. I don't know if there's any cleaner or something you can spray in there to kind of lubricate it. Eric goes, last time we went to Bob Evans, they messed up her order and almost caused a problem since she is allergic to onion. You wanted to hear a funny story? There's a local restaurant where I am. I'm not going to name it because I do like their food. But I go there and I order the vegetarian skillet. Now, you guys know I'm not a vegetarian, so meat doesn't really bother me. But there are people that are vegetarians. Do you know every once in a while when I get it, I find a little piece of sausage or even a little piece of bacon? It's very common. You got to remember these restaurants, these short order restaurants, these cafes, they're doing 5, 10 orders at a time. Chances are you are going to get some bleed through from one order to another. So my advice to you is if you are allergic to something or if you are a vegetarian, double and triple check with your waiter or waitress, say, or your server, I should say, hey, look, I am allergic. I'm absolutely allergic to this. Can you please make sure they cook my meal on a separate portion of the grill or make sure they clean it? If you're really allergic to something, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't eat out. I would eat most of my stuff at home. And this was a big problem in school because a lot of kids nowadays, and this was true when I was in school, are allergic to peanut butter. And I remember that one of my classes, there was a kid in there that was allergic to peanuts or peanut butter, and we could not have anything. As a matter of fact, they would have to check our backpacks before we went into that room. Yeah, we had a teacher named Bob Evans. His nickname was Fred Flintstone. I called him Fred once, and he got mad. That's funny. That's funny. Eric goes, I keep telling her to tell them that it is an allergy, but she freaking doesn't. It's not really a laughing matter because when you have an allergy, you know, it can be serious. I mean, some people, it's so bad that they have to get an EpiPen to get a shot of epinephrine. It's really hard, honestly. I know it. I mean, I've had friends that had allergies like that, and they always had to be super careful when going out. Making sure I didn't miss anything. All computers goes, allergies suck. Yeah, they do. I actually feel it right now. As a matter of fact, before I go to bed, I'm going to take 2 or 3 Benadryl because I know my sinuses are going to fill up, and I'm going to have to sleep on my back with maybe 4 or 5 pillows so I can actually breathe. It really does suck, but at least it's not a food allergy. This is just like a mold and mildew allergy more than anything else. 10 watchers and 12 likes. Awesome. I'll show you guys what I'm wearing because it gets cold here at night. Check this out. I'm actually wearing thermal pajamas. These are ones I get at J.C. Penney, and they're really comfortable. They're microfiber, and since they're polyester, they don't really breathe. That's enough of my crotch. But you get the idea. Definitely want to stay warm at night. Matter of fact, I might be turning off that fan here in a couple of minutes. Yeah, they do. As a matter of fact, they're really comfortable, and I'm actually firmly in a large right now, so I'm really happy about that. I don't know if I showed you guys this last time, but I picked this up at I think it was a garage sale up here last time. Got myself a purple Microsoft wireless mobile mouse 4000 series. Used to have one of these back in the day, and I absolutely loved it. This was my favorite wireless mouse, the Mobile Mouse 4000. It's got one of those blue LEDs in there that track on anything, and it just fits my hand really well. You can see it's designed pretty much for my hand. I have those. I have the 3000 or 3500 series, and that's just way too small. Boxers or briefs? Reviews for noobs asks. Boxers now, but for most of my life, I used to wear tighty whities. If you guys don't know what that is, look it up. But I figured if I ever want to have kids in the future, I need to switch to boxers, and that's what I did. Not going back either. Let me take another sip of water here. Very dry. As humid as it is, my mouth is extremely dry. Took some milk of magnesia earlier, and that might be what's drying me out. Eric goes, I had a friend who is a server at Texas Roadhouse. She told me that someone ordered a Texas tumbleweed, and when she brought it out, the customer said she was allergic to onion. I'm not sure what a tumbleweed is. I've heard of like the blossom, the cactus blossom. That maybe that's what that is. That's kind of like the bloomin' onion, what they have at Outback. That's actually really good. I love that. I actually prefer the one at Texas Roadhouse. Yeah, blooming onion. That's what I figured it was. Tidy whities. Yeah, it's underwear. You got it, Mark. One of my favorite dishes at Texas Roadhouse is the country fried steak, but I do it differently. Most people that have the country fried steak get the white gravy, the kind of white floury gravy. I don't. I get the brown chicken gravy on it. Just personal preference. Oh, I'm going to tell you guys, I went to my favorite restaurant. If you're ever in the Hartford, Pennsylvania area off of Interstate 81, I went to D&H Pen Can Cafe right off the highway. It's an old truck stop. It's a dive, but they have the most amazing food. Everything is cooked in-house, fresh, ready to order. I got their homemade New England clam chowder to start. Then I got the chicken cheesesteak, which they cut up pieces of chicken. They saute it with onions and peppers, and they put provolone cheese, and they put on a nice soft sub roll, or a Kaiser roll, if you will. And they give you a side of homemade fresh French fries. I'm talking fresh cut French fries. And for dessert, yeah, I was bad today. I'll be honest, I was really bad today. I had their homemade, what was it? The coconut cream pie. Best coconut cream pie I've ever had. Highly recommend that place if you're ever in the area. It is really good. Chicken gravy on the chicken fried, the country fried chicken. I was about to say chicken fried steak, but I don't eat beef anymore. Awesome computers go. I don't like this road we're going down, but okay. I've been in boxers since I was in elementary school. Never heard of tighty whities until Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Yep, that's what they are. William McCullough goes, did the eggplant dish you and your mom taste really well? Oh, yeah. Oh, that came out so good. I think we still have some of it left over. And the nice thing about eggplant is it freezes really well. So you can make a huge batch of it, freeze it for a couple of months, thaw it 2-3 months down the road, and it's as good, if not better, than the day you made it. Love eggplant. Oh, my allergies, tubers. I hate this. Ugh. I think that'd be the best part of living in a really cold climate like Alaska or maybe even Maine or somewhere in Canada. You don't have to deal with a lot of the allergies most of the time of the year. Just got to deal with the cold weather. Eric goes, I'm not much into beef, but I'm always down for country fried steak. I do like country fried steak. My problem with beef is it just doesn't agree with me, so I've pretty much decided not to eat it anymore, except for special occasions. Do I have an allergy spray? I don't have an allergy spray per se. I don't know what it is. Last time I was up here, I got a doctor to prescribe me this. It's casein propionate nasal spray. I'm not sure. You guys can kind of see what it is, maybe. Can you see it? Probably not. There we go. Oh, there we go. Actually, I should use a little bit of it right now. I think you do it like this, right? That's a good idea. I might actually be able to breathe now. Oh, it was a good idea. That actually helped. William McCullough saw an interesting show on paleo and keto diets and their differences. Yeah, I've never heard of the paleo. I know the keto diet, and the keto diet's kind of like Atkins, and in that it's low carb. Just doesn't work for me. Atkins never worked for me. It would only work for like a month, and then I would plateau, and then that would be it. That's why I don't like diets. You're so much better off just doing a lifestyle change, cutting down the amount of food you eat and increasing the exercise. That seems to work for everybody. Chris Guild, watching Lassie. Oh, I used to love watching Lassie. Oh, I remember watching Lassie Come Home. I think that was the first movie they ever made with Lassie. And then, of course, the ones with Timmy, with June Lockhart as his mother. I don't know if you guys know this. The first season, she wasn't. It was actually Cloris Leachman, believe it or not. Reviews for noobs: eat rice cakes and water. I actually do like rice cakes. It's been a while. I used to get the Quaker ones. I used to like what was it? The ranch and the white cheese flavor. And then if I really wanted something sweet, I would get the caramel ones. Mark Cummings goes, hey, Matt, just got loaded Fitbit on my smartphone. Awesome. Make sure you track it. I'd like to see how everybody does. And everybody includes you, of course, Mark. Oh, my goodness. I may have to stop this in a few minutes with my allergies. When you get a chance to read. I hardly ever get a chance to read. I'm always exercising. Oh, my goodness. 8 watchers and 13 likes. Thank you guys so much. I always appreciate everybody coming. All right, tubers, I think I'm actually going to end it here. Hang on a sec. Oh, here we go. I got you, William. All right, everybody, I am going to have to end it here because I am getting extremely tired. I actually drove all the way up myself, so that was about 10 hours. Did a bike ride when I got here, so yeah, I think it's about time for bed. So have a good night, everybody, and as always, have a blessed evening.